Thank you, Frank. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting for May 6th, 2014. Before we get started, I'd like to welcome our newly elected member, David Feldman. Congratulations, David. We're happy to have you with us and look forward to a good 3 years of working with you.
I look forward to it.
I'd also like to just mention Mark Sullivan and thank him for his service to the town, many years of great service. As chairman last year, he accomplished a lot with the board, and I want to personally thank him for all of his work and wish him and Mary Ann and the family the very best. Anybody else like to say anything?
No, I repeat those sentiments.
And welcome, David, and looking forward to working with you.
Mm-hmm.
And also to Mark, he worked hard, and he will be missed, so
Yep.
congratulations. Thank you.
Okay, so tonight's agenda is just one item. We're going to be reviewing the collective bargaining agreement for the Firefighters Association, Local 2252, but we should do the Pledge of Allegiance first. David, do you want to lead us?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So, Bill, will you and Randy explain the
Sure.
highlights of
I'd
the
be happy
agreement,
to.
please?
Thank you, Madam Chair. This is, good evening, everyone, and this is a memorandum of agreement that was reached just a few days ago with the Foxborough Professional Firefighters Association in the town. It is for a one-year agreement effective July 1st, retroactively to July 1st, 2013, and will expire on June 30th, 2014. We did a one-year agreement in this instance because there were a number of other issues we still want to get to, and literally this happened the first day I was on the job. We were able to accomplish this, so I'm really actually I'm happy about that. I'm glad we were able to get that done. But the agreement is a good agreement because it's good for both the town and the association. It essentially accomplishes two things. One, it addresses the cost of living adjustment, which was at 2%, and it was also consistent with what we gave to all the other unions that we've negotiated with. And secondarily, it addresses the educational assistance piece, which addressed the concern that the town had relative to the fact that firefighters were essentially being paid overtime while they qualified for their certifications each year. That expense continues to rise over time, and as such, this was an opportunity to address an issue that the union wanted to upgrade the stipend itself, and at the same time, we were able to address the need for no longer having to pay the overtime. So there was an exchange. It was actually a good negotiated settlement for both sides. So the EMT stipend, while it does go from $3,750 to $4,500, and the paramedic stipend goes from $4,050 to $7,000, there is also an offset in savings in overtime costs for the town for every year going forward. And I don't know if Randy, you want to just add to that, if financially, just might just. Sorry to put you on the spot like that.
That's fine. I think that sums it up nicely. The net impact of the contract for this fiscal year is just over $40,000. Of course, that anniversaries, for 2015 as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then the net for the stipends after savings is $28,800, and then the funding source for the stipends, which I thought it was a great approach, is from the ambulance receipts, given that that account can more than handle that. So there's no impact of that incremental amount on the stipends to the general fund.
I think that one other thing I just want to mention too is that one thing that this contract also did was address the biweekly pay issue. And whereas all the town units except the firefighters were actually in that scenario where there was specific language in the firefighters agreement that said that we needed to negotiate that piece before we could actually implement it. And so as part of the settlement, we were able to achieve that as well. So I do recommend the settlement, and I hope that the board would support it as well.
Does anyone have any other questions?
No, I wanted to thank Bill. You jumped on this, like you said, your first order of business. During the executive sessions, we've been updated. So, it's appropriate we go into open session to sign it. But Randy, thank you for keeping us updated. And also to firefighters local 2252 for working well. I think it's fair on both sides, so it worked out well.
Thank you. I just wanted, for one other piece of information for the board, is that we did present this to the AdCom a few nights ago, and one of the things that they said they would support it as well at town meeting, and the one thing that they'd asked that the board would actually vote this in open session so that they could bring it in and then present it at town meeting in that fashion.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I just have one question for Randy. What is the estimated savings from the overtime?
About 34,000. That's what it's averaged for the last couple of years for the overtime for recertification.
Okay.
But as Bill says, that's a number that grows. Annually. It's also at an overtime rate, so it's a number that can get more expensive as time goes on.
So the new stipend amount should be almost a net zero?
No, it's not a net zero. The stipends themselves, were a point of negotiation just for starters, without this concept of having an offset of the savings. So the stipends were likely going to move anyway.
Thank you.
We all set?
I'll make a motion for the Board of Selectmen to accept the memorandum of agreement for the 2013-14 collective bargaining agreement between the town of Foxborough and the Professional Firefighters Association 2252. And for the record, it was signed on April 30th by President Triani, Donald Triani, and also, I believe, by our town administrator. Town manager on April 30th as well.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If just one item on the new business, and I know that you heard us over talking before the meeting that with Mr. Mortimer that one of the things that we've been working on is I've developed a working group that for working on the town hall issue, and knowing that this has been a long time issue that's been debated in the community, so we're trying to look at all the things that have been done in the past and look at any kind of new issues that may emerge. So we're trying to do a comprehensive approach of evaluating all the work, perhaps with the goal of going to a special town meeting in the fall, where we're looking for a funding source to try and get the process started again. We had a very, very good conversation this afternoon rather, with a number of folks who are participating in the process. And I would like to get a member of the board to serve, so I'm not sure who would like to do that, but I didn't want to just suggest a person, so I wanted to give you the opportunity to talk amongst yourselves, and you can perhaps decide at the next meeting on the 13th, because we're not meeting again to the 20th. So at that point, you can decide. But I just wanted to give you a heads up before your next meeting.
So we can just have that as an agenda item?
I'll do that.
Okay, great.
So
All
Bill,
right.
the efforts, I think you guys were meeting recently today, maybe.
Right.
Reaching out to the people that have been involved, the professionals in the
Right.
building committee, but also some of the people from the outside that had input.
Yes.
If you want to call it the ad hoc group, they've been
Yes.
involved as well.
Yes, we had Mr. Heidecker as well, and he also recommended two other members of his ad hoc committee, one serving as an alternate member, and one that may serve on a regular basis, because we want their input. I mean, we want to understand what their concerns are and what we missed along the way, or whether it was, I'm sure it was done inadvertently, but it's important to have all the participants at the table, because this is something that the community has to address in a way that's acceptable. Mm-hmm. And I think it's really, it was, I think, a very good discussion, a good start to the process.
Great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, so I think we're all set. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn this evening's meeting.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
You don't get it that easy, David. Just so you know.
This is definitely, yeah.
Welcome aboard.
Back.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you.